Alright, so today we're going to do the fuel pump here in the S14. We're going to do a Walbro 255 on it. I'm just going to show real quick how to do it. I'm sure there's tons of other videos, but we're in the middle of doing it here, so we'll get right into it. Alright, so there's going to be two clips that hold the carpet in the back, one here and one here. And there's two other clips. You just fold the back seat down that hold the carpet in. Here is your fuel pump. So we're going to start with taking these 4 bolts out right here, and then that'll get us to the top of the fuel tank there. There's 2 clips that go in for the harnesses right here. They need to come out, and then this whole thing you can fold over to the side. And how did I not realize that my head was going to be in the way for most of this video? So I salvaged what I could here. But we're taking the hoses off. Gotta get the hoses up out of the way so we can pull this sending unit up out of here. And then right there, like it says, be careful not to crack the plastic on there, because I don't have the fuel pump lock ring tool that goes around the whole thing, so you just kind of catch an edge on one of the tabs. Alright, so first glance here was pretty surprising. The fuel pump level sender wires and the fuel pump wires were all tangled together, so I had to find a way to release them from each other. Now, they're 2 completely separate pieces, so you should be able to take the fuel pump out first and then take the fuel level sender out second. And that's kind of what I was struggling to do because they were all wadded up together. But yeah, the fuel pump wasn't on its bracket either inside of the fuel tank, so that made it a little weird. Everything was just kind of laying in the bottom of the tank because maybe the person that did it last time couldn't get it to latch onto the brackets. But I will definitely show that when we're going back together with it. But here we go. We're going to start tearing this down. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so that we don't bore you guys to death. Here, I'm just going to do like a reaction style. Taking the old fuel pump out. The submersible hose right there. It's nice and cracked. And then here's the fuel pump cap too. You can see where it's cracked. That was filled up with fuel in this area when I had it taken apart. You could actually see the fuel in there. I ended up cleaning it off, but that there, the cap for the S14s, that pump module cap there, the 3-wire one is still available, brand new, but the 4-wire one with the OBD2, I believe it is not available anymore. So I'm going to end up repairing the cap with some 2-part plastic epoxy, and then it should be totally fine to go after that. Right here, I'm relief cutting the fuel hose because I think they're original from 1996. I didn't want to let go. Everything was rock solid. So a little relief cut goes a long way when it comes to that. Right here, you'll see this grommet just turns into dust. I'm going to make sure to not bend this bracket too. The old pump is out. There's the new Walbro 255 right there. There's a lot of fakes out there with these Walbro 255s, so make sure you get it from a reputable seller. Right here, we just got to line this up, see how far the port on the fuel pump is going to be from the hard line on the hanger. Just kind of line it up, and bam, right there. Look at that. What's that, like 1/8 of an inch? So cut to fit and see how much hose you're gonna have to work with. All right, so there we are. Make sure you get this in here, get the grommet on, and make sure it's nice and snug after it's all done. If your bracket is bent, you can always bend the bottom portion of it up just a little bit to put a little bit of extra pressure on there. That port that's on the bottom there, make sure it's still accessible from where the bracket's at, where the little C, the open part of the C is at, because that's where the strainer is going to clip onto. Should be a little retaining clip on the strainer on the bottom as well, but bam, there it is. There's the bottom portion of it all set up, nice and snug, ready to go. All right, so now we're going to move on to getting this top part of the module put together. Basically, all you need to do is connect the two wires and then install the hose. So right here, I'm just using the original wires for reference as far as the length goes. You want to make sure to not cut them too short because it can pull the connector out, or it might not let the fuel pump bracket sit all the way down where it needs to be. But here we are right here, moving on to the fuel line. It's 5/16. You want to make sure you do the submersible since it's always going to be covered in fuel since it's down inside the tank. I've actually seen non-submersible fuel hose get really brittle, soft, and it can crack or blow out if it's stuck inside the tank. I guess it depends on what brand it is, but it's a good rule of thumb to use the submersible stuff on there. We're going to get this wire put on. I wrapped it around a couple times just to keep it nice and tidy. And we're just about done here, so we're wrapping this up. Just want to go back to the tank and show on that fuel level sender how it goes back in. And then we should be ready to rock and roll. So there we have it. Bam. This goes in first. Fuel level sensor. This one here, you're going into the tank. This clip, it's going to go into the right side and it's going to clip over. It's going to be kind of hard for me to show on a video, but that's what you're looking for. This clip is going to go in and clip over. Alright, so when you're putting the new fuel pump in, if you can see inside of there, there's a hanger on the back side of the fuel pump. Those two slots are going to be where this slides in.